If you were to reach cautiously into my shorts right now, your fingers would slip around something enormous and rather dazzling. I am of course talking about the fresh new Honor 90. This mid-range mobile is a successor to the Honor 80, which never actually made it to the UK. Despite being a bit of a stunner, it'll cost you just 449 quid for the base model, although that is as much as the Pixel 7a and Samsung's Galaxy A54. Some pretty bloody stiff competition, I think you will agree, but is the Honor 90 worth it? Well, I've been rocking it in my pants for a week now. So here's my full-on review, and for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! Now first up, Honor is very good at making smartphones look more premium than they actually are. A quick squint at the Honor 90 and you'd be forgiven for thinking it was a £600–700 blower. It has all those tropes of more expensive flagship smartphones, albeit some that a lot of recent flagships are getting away from, such as that curved display. You also have a curved back, the two meet in the middle with a very skinny frame, although that is constructed from plastic. So the Honor 90 certainly looks pleasingly skinny because of that curved finish, and it weighs just over 180 grams, so pretty lightweight for a 2023 blower as well. Flip the Honor 90 over and you've got a choice of 4 different colours: black, silver, blue, or this here rather luscious green model. You got this lovely textured brushed metal style effect, even though it is just constructed from plastic. And a full week on, after plenty of abuse, that arse is still in perfect nick, not a single dink, scratch, nick, whatever. I also like the look of the camera array as well. It's quite stylish, although also quite jutty, so it does mean the phone wobbles about like a bastard when it's sat on a desk. As well as that hardy back, you've also got a pre-installed screen protector slapped on the front end of the Honor 90 to keep it in good condition. Sadly no IP rated for splash and dust resistance though. So what's actually running on this thing? Well, it is Android 13 with Honor's very own macOS 7.1 slapped on top. So this does change up the look and feel, the general vibe of Android. And I gotta say, it's not my favourite of the Chinese launches, good old macOS. I miss, for instance, the control center of MIUI. And I really hate not being able to drag down the notifications bar from anywhere on my desktop, so you have to actually reach all the way up to the top of this massive bloody display. You've got very little customization of those desktops beyond changing up the grid layout and knocking off the Google Discover feed if you're not really a fan. I have experienced the occasional bit of software shindiggery, mostly YouTube acting like an absolute grade A bellend. Doesn't seem to get on well at all with macOS. And a couple of glitches in the game and toolbar as well, but overall macOS was reasonably well behaved considering, again, the Honor 90 hasn't officially launched yet. I'm using it pre-release, so hopefully these software bugs will be ironed out. And it's somewhat of a relief that Honor is offering 2 OS updates and 3 years of security updates with the Honor 90 as well, which is pretty decent for a mid-ranger. If obviously not quite as good as what Google and OnePlus and Samsung are offering with their alternatives. No worries on the storage front because Honor is offering a very generous 256 or 512 gigs of storage. I've got the 512 gig review model. As you can see there, even the mighty Genshin Impact barely makes an impact. However, as you can see, no space inside of the SIM tray for a micro SD memory card. Now, as well as that cracking design, one of the undoubted trouser-rousing highlights of the Honor 90 is that 6.7-inch AMOLED display. For one, it's sharp as out. You got a 2664 by 1200 pixel resolution, so your photos will be packed with fine detail, your videos look super crispy. Gorgeous contrast, as you would expect from an AMOLED display. You've got full HDR10 playback in the likes of Netflix. And on the default display settings, this thing is set to vivid, so those colors are really poppy and yeah. And no worries if you're using your phone a lot outdoors, because that display gets super bright on the maxed out settings, and it does also dim right down in lower light as well, although not always automatically. A couple of times in the evening when I was all tucked up with Teddy, I did have to manually dip it down just a little bit more just to make it super comfortable on the old peepers, but generally the auto brightness did do its job really well. You got support for 120Hz refresh here on the Honor 90, and you do have a dynamic setting as well if you don't want to be manually bumping it up and chucking it back down again. It's not LTPO tech though, so it only drops as low as 60Hz, pretty much what you'd expect from a smartphone at this sort of price point. And I did notice some responsiveness issues when I was gripping the Honor 90 tightly. Because of that curved display, sometimes your fingers do just intrude a little bit on that panel. You've got to relinquish some of your grip before it'll actually respond again. So overall, I do love the display here on the Honor 90, but the audio not quite as impressive because it is just a single mono speaker setup on this thing, whereas pretty much all rivals now rock a stereo speaker arrangement. Thankfully, the audio is still pretty decent from it. Let's just bump up that volume. Been testing them out for a couple of weeks now, so here's my full in-depth Soundcore Liberty 4 NC review. And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So bump that volume all the way up, and it's reasonably powerful audio, if a little bit tinny on that max volume. It's certainly fine for just kicking back with some YouTube, and in quite a noisy environment it will cut through the worst of the background clamour. But yeah, if you are gaming or whatever, you want to hook up a pair of headphones in order to get truly immersed. And no, there's no headphone jack here on the Honor 90, unfortunately, so it is basically Bluetooth unless you got one of those weird USB dongle-y things. Thankfully, the Bluetooth streaming was absolutely fine. I did get some cutouts when I was in a really busy place like London Bridge or King's Cross, but that might have been more down to the headphones themselves rather than the smartphone. You do get plenty of options when you connect to a pair of Bluetooth headphones. And if you jump into the sound settings, you'll find the Honor Histon sound effects option. And this does include a basic equalizer if you do want to manually tweak the settings. Now for the processor, Honor has gone for the Snapdragon 7 Gen 1 as recently stuffed inside of the HTC U23 Pro, which I reviewed just a couple of weeks back. Except in the Honor 90, it's apparently been accelerated. Now if you want to take full advantage, you'll want to swap to performance mode in the battery settings. Really maximize the grunt. And I certainly found that the everyday performance, even on the standard mode, was absolutely fine. Apps loaded up quickly and ran smoothly. And when I fancied getting my ass handed to me by massive gribbly things in Genshin Impact, well, this ran absolutely fine. Although when I bumped up the graphic settings to the higher detail levels, this is when I noticed the game started to struggle a bit. Some obvious frame rate dips throughout, and especially when there was tons of stuff on screen all trying to murderize me at once. That action got very choppy indeed, so I'd certainly recommend running it on the lower to medium graphics settings. And of course other fare like Call of Duty run absolutely perfectly. You do have a massive vapor chamber stuffed inside of the Honor 90 as well, so that helps to keep the device pretty cool. It barely got warm at all, even after a solid 40-50 minutes of Genshin Impact action at a time. And you do have the gaming tools which you can drag out at any time with a quick swipe from the left hand side of the screen. It's pretty basic as far as gaming modes go. Nowhere near as comprehensive as what you'll get from Asus or Xiaomi. But you've got a performance booster, a notifications blocker, you can record the action, yada yada. All the standard staple stuff. As for the battery life, well, this is another area where the Honor 90 absolutely nails it. You've got a 5,000 mAh capacity battery stuffed inside of this smartphone, so it's slightly bigger than the Honor 70's battery. And I found that this lasted me all day, every day, no worries whatsoever. In fact, most days I ended with around a quarter of the battery life remaining. And if you're super conservative, you don't do anything like Skype and lots of camera action, anything like that, you'll be able to get 2 days out of this thing reasonably comfortably. Got all the usual power saving modes, all of that shenanigans, and the good news is as well, even if you are running a bit low, you need to top up the Honor 90 when it supports 66 watt wired charging, which beats the living shit out of the Galaxy A54, the Pixel 7a, etc. However, no wireless charging on the Honor 90, unlike that Pixel 7a. Now seemingly the big upgrade here on the Honor 90 compared with previous Honor mid-ranges is that 200 megapixel primary camera. This uses Samsung's HP3 sensor, which I believe this is the first time it's been used in any smartphone. The S23 Ultra, for instance, used the HP2. But don't rub your thighs too vigorously in anticipation though, because the Honor 90's everyday photography chops are merely fine. Because of the processing, photos can look a wee bit flat without much texture, and sometimes those tones do look a little deeper or darker than they do in real life. Bright, vibrant colours really don't pop the way I hoped that they would. HDR situations thankfully won't completely muff up your pic. The Honor 90 can usually comfortably cope with strong backlighting and keep a grip on things without oversaturating shiz. In softer light though, you will see some serious grain creeping in, and any light sources are often blown out. Although the dedicated night mode can certainly help out if you've got a steady hand and an equally steady subject. The Honor 90's portrait mode tends to work well too, although the focus is less dependable. Some of my test shots were just straight up blurry messes. But when it works, the results are usually proper nice. And as always with Honor smartphones, you've got quite the variety of alternative camera modes, as well as the night and portrait mode. If you flip over to more, you've got a full-on dedicated pro mode, so you can manually mess around with the likes of the ISO levels, the white balance, So for instance, while there's no telephoto shooter here, the Honor 90 does offer a 200 megapixel high-res mode. This captures more detail than the regular auto mode, so you can crop into a pic without everything getting all hazy and pixely, although these shots do occasionally once again appear over-processed. The Honor 90 also serves up a 12 megapixel ultra-wide angle shooter which can pack more into your pic, and I found that the color reproduction and overall aesthetics were very similar to what you get with the primary sensor. And you've also got yourself a macro lens, yay! Yay for macro! But anyway, overall I would say it's certainly a photo quality as a priority for you with your new smartphone. Maybe you'll want to go Pixel 7a instead. Video can be recorded at 4K resolution and overall it's pretty decent. You get plenty of detail packed into every frame and the stabilization is certainly good enough to walk at pace while you're shooting. Honor has added an AI-powered noise reduction tool. The only problem is that this reduces all noise, including any commentary that you may be providing, rather than simply toning down other sounds around you so you can be heard more clearly.
Again with the noise reduction on, so hopefully not as much background noise to be made.
So its use is kind of limited. But overall, the Honor 90 will do the job for your home movie action as long as you're not shooting in low light. And last up, around the front of the Honor 90 you've got yourself a 50 megapixel selfie shooter. This offers a very wide angle of action and it's absolutely fine for snapping a pic to post online. The Honor 90 doesn't fill its pants when there's strong backlighting or if you're in more ambient conditions. Although tones aren't always accurate and again in low light things get a bit grainy unless you use the blind and screen flash feature. And there you have it, my lovelies. That is my full final frank review of the Honor 90 mid-range mobile after I've used it as my blower for about a week. Be great to hear your thoughts on the Honor 90 down below. Are you tempted, or maybe you're more swayed by the Pixel 7a or the Samsung A54 or the plethora of rivals available right now in 2023? Please do check out my unboxings and reviews of all these other mid-range mobiles. I've also rounded up my pick of the best mid-rangers that you can grab right now. Please do poke subscribe, ding that notifications bell, all the usual YouTube guff, and have yourselves a ruddy wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everyone, love you!